Hello, I am Cha Hee Kim, who will teach the Data Structures lecture this semester. First of all, welcome to the Data Structures class. Do you know what data structures are? What can you really learn from this class? How will the class be conducted? Do I let you have a lot of homework? I think today's lecture will answer these questions. This is the agenda for this week. First, I will explain the plan I will administrate this class. Next, I will let you know what the team project is. Finally, I conclude with the review. The activities are replaced with the quiz. Please check the exam board. The first section is about administration. This table is the class schedule for this semester. For most of the weeks we'll take online classes and we'll do activities on the content in face-to-face classes. Face-to-face classes include program quizzes, oral exams, and group activities. If you do not attend the online class, you may have difficulties with activities. So we recommend that you attend the class before class starts. The programming quiz will be helpful if you check the problems I designate each week in advance. And if you do not complete it within that time, you can submit it as homework by the next week. And these questions will help you prepare for the 14th week programming exam. Most weeks have online and offline classes at the same time, but the 8th and last 3 weeks do not have online classes. And in the 12th week, there are no offline classes due to school entrance exams. I will abide by this schedule as much as possible, but please note that the schedule may change if undesirable weather conditions arise like today or the COVID-19 becomes serious. The project aims to implement a drawing editor for various shapes in a GUI environment. Each team's program provides 2 mandatory shapes and 2 mandatory functions. Do not implement other teams' mandatories. I encourage you to implement various functions but prohibit implementing other teams' mandatory that is not included in yours. This is because I want to make you just not copy from the internet. Your presentation is divided into 2. The first presentation occurs the 8th week. You must not implement functions, but just GUI in the first presentation. If the buttons work, you can get a penalty. The editor with full functions should have finalized by the final week. I guess that a project evaluation will assist in design and scheduling. The first presentation assesses how your GUI is convenient, and its maximum score is 5 points. The remaining features are assessed in the final presentation. Every team should implement features related to a line, but circles and rectangles are implemented by only teams that are assigned. If you are assigned to implement a circle, you cannot implement a rectangle and vice versa. Selection is the function that every team should implement. 2 mandatory functions are also assigned to each team. Similar to the shape, you cannot implement other teams' mandatory functions. For other features, you can freely decide whether to implement them or not. If you implement more, you will get extra points. By the way, you should keep this in mind when you design your editor. First, the overall score is recalculated based on the top score because that part is 20%. Next, I recommend not changing the GUI after the first presentation because if you change the GUI interface, it could be a penalty. I warn again, do not implement other teams' mandatories. I conclude with the review of this week. This is what you have studied this week. Now, you know the concept of data structures and algorithms. The definition of data structure is components of algorithms for solving problems. The algorithm is a procedure for solving a mathematical problem in a finite number of steps that frequently involves repeating an operation. The definition of an algorithm in a social study that you can see in the news is slightly different from ours. However, this definition is more original and proper for our domain. So remember this definition. Additionally, I introduce the flowchart for describing algorithms and illustrate how to use symbols. The exam board provides practice problems that you can exercise. Try to solve it by the next Tuesday.